August 24th, 2024, 10 hours ago, Joseph Ritter, aka RetroSpectre84, just recreated his channel by making the big mistake of renaming his channel, and handle under the same name, just registered under a different email, trying to restart again. Dr. K has no problem with that, as long as he doesn't do what he did previously and go away and do his own thing. However, after much harassment has been made from him, via email making ridiculous demands to retract all criminal records of him with his permanent 5 standings of copyright infringement. Joe is back at it again with his illogical, or in my opinion, narcotics-induced fabrication of his own truth. As in the first video, he openly admitted he lives in his own little world, or his own truth where everyone loses and only he wins. So now he is using the same channel name? Only one reason, and that is to try and make it look like he never committed the previous white-collar crimes. And I'm your AI host, Brian. Joe believes as long as he denies the evidence that Dr. K and YouTube possesses, then he's clean. That can be no further away from the truth. He even used the same banner and same channel name. Now let's talk about what he just said in an attempt to retaliate with malicious intent at Dr. K. He still doesn't understand the importance of the Fifth Amendment. The right to remain silent, as anything you say can be and will be used against you in the court of law. In our case, the court of we, the people. In Exhibit G, we can see the false statement which he made, and leaving evidence and digital footprint for all to see. Why don't we have a read and fact check it? In his first sentence, he says, "It's concerning that Doc portrays himself as the victim while using my music on YouTube without respecting my copyright." Okay, so while he is saying this, we will display the 5 standing criminal records of Joseph Ritter, owner of RetroSpectre84 channel that is on record of YouTube database, which proves he stole from Dr. K. Now we will give you 20 seconds to have a scan and read of it, so you can soak in the dishonesty and criminal mindset of Joe. Do you think Joe making wild claims has any standing and grounding in reality? Who is the victim if it's still a standing evidence and it's permanent that Joe stole from Dr. K? 4 accounts of song, shot track, composition, and 1 account of digital art? Let's look at his second statement. He's unable to deny he stole from Dr. K, so the only thing he can say in an attempt to harm Dr. K's reputation is trying to say Dr. K stole from him when it was proven previously there was a written agreement of usage before his channel was terminated, of which you can't just willy-nilly make up a revocation of the agreement in a private email that has no legal bearing or legal standing. And it does not prove you own the materials if your music and channel was terminated due to illegal 5 accounts of theft, which was proven beyond a shadow of doubt and still on record for life. Then anybody and everybody can call you a copyright thief because it is the truth. In his third sentence, he said it is the YouTube support team that taken down the video, which he agreed to let Dr. K use before the channel's termination. Let's expose this lie, shall we? First of all, YouTube support is just an email with no human beings manning it, anyone not monetized to not get human support, and this is verified by Nick Nimmons, Brian G. Johnson, and Think Media, the 3 biggest gurus of YouTube growth and YouTube mechanics niche. The second lie here we are exposing is his statement of YouTube's support team having the authority to take down videos. They do not. It's the built-in automated DMCA algorithm embedded into YouTube's widgets of the website. YouTube is not a court of law or legal body that can execute anything to do with legal, except comply with DMCA regardless of fairness, because YouTube doesn't have legal representative rights to the creator to argue copyright with DMCA. His fourth sentence states, "It's also incorrect to claim that I have relinquished ownership or copyright of my music." Perhaps the only sentence he has that is contestable. If we were to review the parameters of copyright, copyright is established once a piece of art has entered a tangible state. However, the problem arises when it comes to music. If it's not DMCA registered, the problem with Joe, owner of RetroSpectre84 channel, is that he used SUNO.ai to create his music, meaning under the terms of services of SUNO.ai is that you have to be a paying subscriber in order to have ownership of the music, which he has never ever proven. He only shown he got music in his account. Okay, so let's say he did prove at a later date, he got credits in his account. How can you then prove the music created previously would count as his ownership? We don't know. 5th sentence, Joe states, Doc only had a usage license, which I lawfully revoked and I informed him in advance. This was proven time and time again that he revoked under no legal pretenses, and his continued failure to prove he owned the materials after his channel and all his content burnt to the ground due to his own white-collar felonies committed willfully, 5 accounts of outstanding copyright infringement through theft and plagiarism. In Joe's 5th sentence, he states, Doc only had a usage license, which I lawfully revoked and I informed him in advance. This statement is misleading. The agreement in question was not a formal license, but rather a written agreement, which Joe later misrepresented to suit his narrative. His claim that he revoked a usage license under legal pretenses is false. Additionally, Joe has consistently failed to provide evidence of owning the materials, which further undermines his credibility. His channel's removal due to 5 documented instances of copyright infringement involving theft and plagiarism highlights his attempts to obscure the truth and avoid accountability for his actions. In Joe's 6th sentence, he claims that he was initially offered a chance to walk away and start a new channel, but chose not to, and instead engaged in harassment and made threatening demands. Here's the reality. 7 days ago, Joe was indeed offered the opportunity to resolve the situation amicably and start afresh with a new channel. However, rather than taking this route, he chose to harass me through emails, making false and threatening demands. He insisted that I remove all records of his criminal activities from YouTube and reinstate his channel, a demand both unreasonable and unjustifiable. Joe also admitted to operating parasitic channels under his main channel, all of which were shut down due to his repeated violations of copyright law. His bargaining chip was a dubious promise to cease falsely reporting and abusing the copyright and privacy systems. He offered to transfer copyright, but he has no legitimate means to do so, nor has he ever engaged an attorney to handle these legal matters properly. His actions demonstrate a continued attempt to manipulate and evade responsibility rather than seeking a genuine resolution. To debunk his final sentence, it's Doc who continues to send aggressive, threatening tone emails and posts, as well as creating investigative videos. Content of emails. In Doc's communications, he consistently stated that I hold all the relevant information and evidence. I have not issued any threats. My emails have been factual and focused on the situation at hand, not aggressive or threatening. The language used in my emails simply reflects my position in the matter, given that both YouTube and I have documentation of his criminal record. Definition of threats. To clarify, a threat involves stating an intention to cause harm or take adverse action if specific demands are not met. In Doc's case, I have not made any such statements. My emails and communications have been focused on the facts in the situation, not on making threats or coercing action. But in Joe's case, he said if Doc don't retract the copyright strike criminal records from YouTube, he will keep abusing the YouTube reporting system. Isn't that defined by the dictionary as a threat? Purpose of videos. The videos Doc have created are investigative in nature, aimed at presenting factual evidence to protect himself for YouTube to see. They are not intended to intimidate or threaten, but to inform and clarify the facts. Only a criminal would feel threatened if someone is clean and law-abiding. Why would they feel threatened? Holding the cards. When Doc said I hold all the cards, it means that I have the necessary evidence and documentation to support my position. It is not a threat, but a statement of fact regarding the evidence available to both Dr. K and YouTube. Do not use that woke agenda narrative to say, if I identify it as a threat, then it must be a threat. And if I identify myself as the alpaca, then I must be an alpaca. Closing statement. Dr. K is only making these videos every time Joseph Ritter, the owner of RetroSpectre84, which I can very confidently call him a copyright thief and criminal, because it's the proven truth. When he decided to make a self-incriminating comment, either through comment or email, instead of moving on with his life, what will he try next? I guess only time will tell.